The way that the machine works is instead of connecting the AC line directly to the pump, which is how an espresso machine would work, right? And then you buy a pump that has the flow characteristics that you want. Our pumps are over-spec'd. They go to 19 bar and the flow rates are much higher than we need. And instead what we do is we take the AC line and we detect the zero crossing, and then we have individual pulses of AC that we can control. We then send individual AC pulses to either the hot pump or the cold pump so that, let's rotate this. Okay, so let's go to the next step and I'll explain what's going on. So the hot pump and the cold pump are going into these two structures. Now these are made of ultim, they're rectangles with a bunch of holes, and there's two of them stacked on top of each other, and we refer to these respectively as the aux manifold, auxiliary manifold, and mix manifold. Basically what's happening here is water mixing. So we're mixing hot water and cold water in this thing, okay? And there's temperature sensors both measuring the in and a temperature sensor for out. So that's what's happening there. So the reason we control the individual AC pulses is that when we're trying to achieve a certain temperature, and the temperature is measured again here. So here is, see this brown tube here? So this is water going to espresso here. And we measure the temperature that we want initially here before the espresso starts. And then when the espresso starts, we measure it here inside, right, with that probe I showed you. So if we notice that the water is too hot or too cold, we do one more cycle more, or a few more cycles of the hot pump or the cold pump to affect the mix here. And that's why these tubes here are only 1.2 millimeters in internal diameter. So there's very little water in here. So even though it seems like there's a fair amount of tubing, there's not much water going on there.
It's basically one is hot and one is cold.
That's exactly
and
right.
You're running those at different cycles to get the mix that you want.
Exactly.